Well, good afternoon, guys. It is May 23rd, and today I'm going to be hiking up Neffs Canyon and talking about some of the plants along the way. It's been about 3 years since I've been here, so I'm interested to see what else I know now, but I didn't back then. I think I even made a video, but either way, let's get going and see what I can find today. Now, one thing about this trail that I totally forgot is that it's very steep, even at the beginning, but it will flatten out a little bit, thankfully for me. But right now, we're walking through a nice classic mountain brush forest, which I talk about all the time. Lots of gamble oak and bigtooth maple. But I want to try and get higher up and see what I can find. And here is surely what has to be one of the nicest forests of gamble oak and bigtooth maple you're going to find anywhere in the Wasatch. Look how tall these trees are. It's about like 40 to 50 feet, which is actually surprisingly tall for them. Just be loving this sort of floodplain of the Neffs Canyon Creek. Some people are relaxing here, so I'm going to keep it down a little bit, but really great spot to be. And of course, there's a lot of chokecherry in the understory. Some other great native plants, and some not great non-native ones, like this burdock. It's a very common invasive in the shady parts of the foothills of the Wasatch. It's a species of a thistle. Some people say artichokes are the only edible thistle, but that's not true. Burdock is one as well. Well, it's the root that you eat, not the flowers. A lot of dandelions, the Taraxacum officinale. Sorry, I can't remember what the scientific name for burdock is, but these plants are they're like a tolerable non-native, but they grow so commonly, I think they might be potentially competing for space with other native plants. Those bushes back there are a species of Snowberry. We're going to see more of those as we hike on further. We found it fairly high elevations, but also low down and even in moister pinyon juniper woodlands, like on the Colorado Plateau. So I'm likely something like Oreopolis, I think it's a Symphoricarpos Oreopolis, but anyways, let's carry on. This trail is very busy today, unfortunately. It's making it a little hard to make my videos, but I'm sure I can cobble together something at least. I'm getting higher up, but the plants are all the same. Got more of the withered Erythronium grandiflora. Getting ready to go to sleep for the year. Just waiting to mature its capsule and also store as much energy as it can back down to its bulb. It's a very wide-ranging species, at least in terms of its elevation and its physical range, but its elevation is pretty great as well. You can find them down below 5,000 feet, all the way up to the tree line. I mean, I know it would be called the Avalanche Lily or the Glacier Lily if it was just found in the foothills around here. Neffs Canyon goes sort of like a little small canyon in the Wasatch that goes sort of around the backside of Mount Olympus. It seems like every little mountain has its own small, at least on the very front of the Wasatch, has its own little small river, and this one's Neffs Canyon or Neffs River, what do you want to call it? Must be Neffs Creek, because it's a little small to be a river, I guess, but here we are coming up on it. I'm not sure my shoes are waterproof. I don't want to find out the hard way that they are not. There's also little butterflies down there, so you can't see them in the shade of my shadow. I'm at the point now where I have to wonder how much further do I really want to go. I'm kind of winded, and I know this trail gets even steeper. I'm officially into the wilderness area now, and it's at 6,700 feet. I think that's a record for the year. We're seeing that the bigtooth maples aren't fully leafed out, at least not all of them. This guy is though. And the Erythronium grandiflora is still in bloom around here. Actually, that's about wrapped up. That's pretty much of a tattered flower. But I want to try and make it to the meadow. There's a nice meadow at about 8,000 feet in elevation. If I can just really put the pedal to the metal. So what am I saying? I sound like such a dork right now. I'm going to keep heading on is what I'm trying to say. This is a little cool. I just noticed these mushrooms growing on this dead fir tree. Any of you mushroom experts want to maybe tell me what this is? I'd love to know because I got no clue, but I want to try and look it up either way. So maybe they open up to release their spores. They certainly don't seem to have any gills, not these ones at least. I love mushrooms. So these are probably saprotrophic and decomposing the tree from the inside out, that's a nice thing about fungi and dead trees. They nourish each other, I suppose. Well, I guess dead trees aren't being nourished, but dead trees nourish the forest. And these mushrooms help break the trees back down to their constituent materials. Why don't they attack living trees? That's what I wonder. Okay, but I'm going to try and move on. Now there we go. You can see through these bushes back there, about 7,000 feet, I finally found my first snow. Remember, it's May 23rd today, so it makes sense that there'll still be snow on the ground, especially in a shaded canyon like this. I bet about 3 weeks ago this place has been still almost completely buried in it. And everything you see now is just basically just getting started. I believe this is a Physocarpus malvaceus. It says Mallow Ninebark. There's its titular 9 bark, the really peely bark, it just, well, peels everywhere. So it's like it has 9 bark. Pretty dumb common name. I said it last video, and I was correct. That's the reason why it's called 9bark. Here's also mountain lover, perhaps a much more aptly named plant because it really loves the mountains. And evergreen of the family Ciliaceae. It's also known as Paxistima myrsinites. Really nice common plant that you guys should plant it in your yard. It's a nice native, and it would surely do well if you plant it in a shaded spot. Well, it seems to be in bloom here. There you go. Very cool. Oh, and really quickly, this plant that's not yet in bloom, I'm almost positive, is Mertensia ciliata, also known as mountain bluebells. The most abundant species of bluebell, you find them sort of mid-elevations to upper elevations in the Wasatch here. A good sign that we're really getting up in elevation. If all the conifer trees weren't a good indication of that. This trail just doesn't quit. I think I'm 7,400 feet up now. Like another 500 to go before I reach the meadow. But I have like 11 more minutes to do so. But we are into the aspen zone at least. Populus trembuli zone, so to speak. That is, so to speak, if you're a scientist and like scientific names. But yeah, look at that. About to be some snow at the top still. They are at least leafing out nicely, however, which is good to see. Always good to see. Man, I'm so out of breath I can barely talk. Here's some music from somewhere. Maybe I'm just hallucinating now. Look at that, all the yellow glacier lilies still in bloom. How nice is that? We are really into the aspen forest now. See, all these wildflowers are just barely coming up. I always talk about the sort of mid-montane meadow wildflowers at least once. This is not quite the time to do it again, but I can identify a few of them. Also, the ones in bloom on the ground are Claytonia lanceolata, the lance leaf spring beauty, which can range from shadowed away, pink to whitish. Well, typically they seem to be white around here. That's not all we got coming up though. This plant, I'm guessing it might be Agastache oticifolia, but that's just a guess. But there's a lot of efforts. I gotta keep heading out though because I'm almost there, and I just can't quit yet. It's a really nice forest though, isn't it? And look at all that snow we still got to melt. It's gonna give us water, hopefully, well into July and August. Will not be a snow in particular, but all the snow that fell in the mountains might just seep right into the soil and not go anywhere. This is a bad year for Lake Powell, which is, expected given the water situation, or will be a bad year for Lake Powell. It's likely to be lower next year at the same time in the year as we are now. Well, it seems I made up to this meadow in the nick of time. It's 5:44 and I just barely got up here. My back is so sweaty. I really had a race to get up here. But it seems like I'm a little early to find any good things in bloom. There's a couple of plants which I already talked about, like the Erythronium grandiflora. Doing pretty well here. I know recently this place was covered in snow. I'm guessing maybe just like 2 weeks ago. I got some other Mertensia ciliata coming up. It's fuzzy as almost all members of Boraginaceae are. And of course the Claytonia lanceolata, which I talked about already. Really common plant. You guys should really learn it because it's a really small flower, but very important and very common around here. But otherwise, not a whole lot of stuff I can identify. These shrubs, I thought for some reason they'd be a species of Sambucus, but they seem to be, they're definitely not that. They seem probably most likely some Symphoricarpos or Snowberry. Like maybe, again, maybe Symphoricarpus, Oreophyllus, or rotundifolia. Both seem to be, I think these are the two most common around here. Boy, I really need to study up on them a bit more, as I do with most plants you can find around here. But yeah, this is the meadow, just barely back to coming alive. Okay, those stems, it's like sticks coming to ground right in the center of the frame about there, are all species of Sambucus, definitely Sambucus racemosa. You can sort of just tell by the way they look once you really get a good feel for them. But otherwise, a lot of Symphoricarpus around here. There's quite a lot of snow up in the mountains still. I mean, it should have been obvious based upon just how snowy it was on the trail past 7,000 feet up, but I mean, not actually on the trail, but definitely on this north-facing side of a valley. The aspect is very strong here, the effect of the aspect. Looks like Sundial Peak a little bit, except we're not in Lake Blanche, so it's definitely not. Got some nice plans for this summer. I might be going to Australia a lot later than I anticipated, but I got some good stuff planned for Utah this summer. So all you guys who want to see me make more videos about Utah and not Australia, good luck, at least for a little bit. But I really do want to get out of my sort of box and explore the world a little bit if I can. Just so much stuff to explore. Certainly too much for one lifetime. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and see you next time. Well, I guess it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't find one more thing to talk about on the way down. I'm down to about 7,200 feet up now, and we have a species of clematis climbing over these branches in this tree right here. It's really the only sort of climbing vine you'll find at this elevation. Clematis is a widespread genus in the family Ranunculaceae, and it's a very popular ornamental. You can pretty much in any garden store buy clematises to plant to your yard. Not necessarily this species, which is most likely based upon its leaves, Clematis occidentalis. The other species it could be based upon our elevation and just coordinates is Clematis columbiana. But Clematis columbiana has like bi or triternately compound leaves that are sharply tubed, while these ones are not tubed at all and are only like a triternate or trifoliate basically. Clematis columbiana is also more found in central, so it's widespread, but also I think more in central and southern Utah. But Clematis columbiana is only really found, Clematis occidentalis is only really found in northern Utah. It's a really cool plant though. Big, beautiful flowers. Love seeing them. So once again, thanks for watching, and see you next time for real now.